We are in Budapest, Hungary, exploring for the first time ever. And for the next several days, we're going to be exploring the sites, trying local food, and most importantly, checking out the Christmas markets here in the City of Lights. This is the start of a multi-week, multi-country Christmas market dash throughout Europe.
And we're starting off our exploration here today at St. Stephen's Basilica, which is right behind me, which is a 19th century Roman Catholic church named after the first king of Hungary. And as a bonus, it actually has his mummified hand inside of a little shrine inside the church.
All right, guys, we just finished the Basilica. It's beautiful on the inside. And now we're going to go check out the Christmas market, which just happens to be right out front of the Basilica and kind of all around it.
All right, so we got our first food item of the Christmas market. This is a chimney cake, and you can get different flavors and different fillings. We just got the plain gingerbread, which I'm really excited about. So I'm gonna give this a try. Whoa, so I don't unravel the whole thing. Okay. It's really good. So it's just like a nice dough with like some sugary ginger flavor on the outside. It tastes really good. It's also not as heavy as like a fried dough like you often see at these kinds of places.
Okay, I got my first of probably many purchases at these Christmas markets, but I try to keep it small. Usually my souvenirs are earrings, and so I got these cute little homemade earrings. We spoke to the lady at the stand, and her friend makes these, and she actually blows glass and puts different things inside of it. So these are super cool and unique. I'm out front of the Hungarian Parliament building. I feel like this is like the iconic building you think of when you think of Budapest, and it is very impressive. I love it.
So we just passed these shoes on the Danube Monument, which is a bunch of empty shoes on the bank of the river to memorialize the victims who were brought to the bank of the river and shot during this time period. There's something about seeing the empty shoes on the bank of the river that just really brings to mind that these were real people that this happened to, and really humanizes this terrible tragedy.
It's Christmas market time. All right, guys, we just got to the Derék Ferenc Christmas market. It looks really small compared to the one that we went to earlier by St. Stephen's Basilica, but there are quite a few Christmas markets here in town from my understanding, so let's go check this one out. So we just got our first food item, and this is paprika cream soup, which I've never had that sort of thing before, but I heard that paprika is like the spice of choice in Hungary. So it felt fitting to start with paprika cream soup. So let's give this a go.
But it's like the second time with a soda.
It's actually pretty good. This has like a nice kind of like very subtle hint of spice, and it kind of reminds me of like think about like a bell pepper meets tomato soup fusion, kind of. Like in terms of flavor, that's what it kind of reminds me of.
Okay, so our next item on our list is langos, which is like a deep fried bread, and the traditional way is to put sour cream and cheese on it. It is absolutely beautiful, and I'm very excited to try it. I mean, that is amazing. It reminds me a little bit of what we had in Austria, the Kia, which was basically similar fried dough with sauerkraut on top. Very good.
This is just a cheesy version. I just got this ornament. We're hoping to get an ornament from each of the countries we go to for the Christmas markets. And this one just called to me because it's just so cute. We've never actually had a Christmas tree our entire life because we've always been in a nomadic or preparing to be nomadic, semi-nomadic state. This will be fun to like get a bunch so that when we eventually have a place that we can stay for a while and have a Christmas tree, we'll have some decorations from our adventures. All right, we got our next item. So one of the things that's kind of like iconic at the Christmas markets in Europe is like mulled wine, which is like spiced wine, like picture like cinnamon, cloves, that sort of thing in wine. But they also usually have non-alcoholic versions, which is more my jam. And this one, they had a kind of a fun flavor. It was hot apple cinnamon, and I love cinnamon flavored things, so I bet this is gonna be good. It has a little, looks like orange inside it. So let's give this a go. Oh yeah, that's good. It tastes like apple juice with cinnamon heated up. You can't go wrong with that. Alright guys, we have moved from the Christmas market to a Hungarian restaurant, and we're trying something that was on my list, which is a mushroom soup. Mushroom soup may be my favorite type of soup. I love mushroom soup, so I'm curious their take on this. So let's give this a go. There it is. It's so good, honey.
I'm excited.
This is like creamy, perfect balance of salt. You taste the mushroom strongly. All right, guys, we are back at our place. I've changed into my pajamas because the second I get home, I have to change into pajamas. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but I like to be comfortable. So anyways, we are finished with day one. It was really more of a half day, like third of the day really today, but we're gonna have a full day exploring and Christmas marketing some more tomorrow.
We're riding these scooters on the famous Andrassy Street. I have to say it's definitely really sketchy filming while riding this thing because I'm having to balance and use the throttle with just one hand. I feel pretty unsteady.
Good morning, everybody. It is day 2 of our time exploring Budapest. We are kicking off today in Heroes Square, which is part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it has the statues of the 7 leaders that founded Hungary. I mean, we can see them straight ahead. They're on horseback. It was like a 17-minute scooter ride on those limes. We love those for traveling in European cities. But yeah, let's go explore. We have a few places in this side of town to check out. Alright guys, we have now moved forward and there is a giant ice skating rink in here that is definitely tempting Alex and I. It has a castle as a backdrop, which is wild. And for
a hot air balloon.
Yeah, for some reason there's a hot air balloon floating above the castle, which is really cool. Like, that would be really fun to do. That's one thing me and Alex have never done, is a hot air balloon ride. Someday we'll have to do that. But ice skating rink honestly might be a nice way to wake ourselves up because the jet lag is fierce. We slept about 4 hours yesterday. I don't know why. It feels like it's harder to adjust as we age or something. This has been a really hard adjustment trip. But we're going to push along because we only have 3 days in Budapest.
This is actually a really cool ice skating rink. I haven't been to one this big before. I'd say it's probably at least 100 meters lengthwise, maybe 50 meters widthwise. Imagine like an entire football field-sized ice skating rink.
We are back at our place. So we lost you there. We had more plans up in that part of town, but unfortunately we had to run back to our hotel because there was an issue with the Wi-Fi and we have to work today. And so that was just, we had to deal with that and make sure we had Wi-Fi. We're going to save the other big thing to do in that area tomorrow. We will see you in a few hours at the Christmas market tonight. All right, guys, it is much later now and we are going to go head out to the Christmas market that happens to be just around the corner from our building. Well, guys, we went to the place across the corner that we saw so lively as we went to our Airbnb earlier. And as you can see, it is closed. This is like the big Christmas market. I didn't anticipate it closing early. Like, I always associated Christmas markets with being a nighttime thing, but this must be like a daytime Christmas market. Well, we're gonna have to save this for tomorrow.
All right, good morning everybody. We just made it to the thermal baths here. I don't know how to pronounce the name of it, so I'm just gonna put it in here. We're really excited. This is like the big touristy thing to do here in Budapest. And it is a very cold morning, so I'm excited to warm myself up.
All right, guys, we are inside the building, and it's a gorgeous building, by the way. And we got a cabin. We paid a couple euros extra, I think it was, for a cabin. We did not realize they didn't have towel rentals here. They have them to buy for like $20 for a basic towel. So we aren't doing that, and we're just gonna go without a towel. So we'll see how this goes.
We can use my sweater.
Maybe. But yeah, so we're gonna get changed. Again, the water doesn't look too crowded yet, which is exciting.
We gotta get in this thing, it's so cold. So nice and warm. We are going to head to the next one. So this next one, you actually go in a circle, kind of running around. That's what everybody's doing, so we're gonna go check that one out. All right, we gotta keep up. Oh, so it's sort of like a lazy river.
Sorry, I didn't know this was moving.
It is like a lazy river.
Back in the warm one.
Yeah, it's so much nicer in this one. Guys, so we just finished up at the thermal baths. It was really nice. I think our favorite thing to do was the hot cold plunge. We'd stay in the cold for as long as we could, then we go into the hot, then go back to the cold. We did that several times, and then we took a little bit of time in the sauna afterwards, which was really nice. And now we are on our way to the Christmas market that we tried to go to last night, but it was closed.
We're at the Vörösmarty Classic Xmas Market, and so far the vendors seem more spaced out than they were at St. Stephen's Basilica, and it's crowded, but like it seems more contained because of that. It seems like the big feature is the big standout tree here in the center, but then we also noticed this big random ball over some statues here.
In a snow globe?
Yeah, like a snow globe. I just got something called Marlinka. It's supposed to be a honey walnut cake. I just asked the woman what she recommended at her shop. She said this. Let's give this a go, guys. Oh, it's very sticky. See the honey part? Wow. That is so much better than I anticipated. That is so good. It's got like layers, guys, of different filling. It's got like a very nice spice to it, like really good.
All right, so I got a very dessert typical of my preferences, which is a cherry strudel. So you can see typical strudel with a big filling. It's actually cherry poppy seed. One thing I've learned since I've been here is that poppy seed is really, really popular. So we'll see how this goes. Wow. Not what I expected. It has a lot more poppy seed than you would expect. It tastes more like poppy seed that's sweetened with cherry rather than cherry with a hint of poppy seed. Like it's very dominantly poppy seed. Interesting. And it does have some like Christmassy kind of spices in there, like I don't know if I'm getting some cardamom or something like that. There's definitely some spices in there. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I would probably prefer it without as much poppy seed, but it's still pretty good. This is a beautiful bridge. All right, so for those of you who don't know, Budapest is actually split into two different places separated by the Danube River. That's the Pest side over there, and we're on the Buda side here. And that up there is the Buda Castle, and we're gonna go head up there right now. And an interesting fact about this is that Vlad the Impaler, aka Dracula, was imprisoned here for 14 years. Honestly, I don't even know what happened. We were doing just fine, energy-wise, and then suddenly we just hit a big wall, and now we're both just completely jet lagged right now. We're gonna go back to our place now and rest a little bit before we go to the Christmas market later. Alright guys, so it is our last night here in Budapest, and we've come here to the St. Stephen's Basilica Christmas Market. The Basilica is right behind Liz. It's massive and amazing.
Good morning, everybody. It is the next morning, and we are heading out of Budapest today, which we are sad about. It definitely felt like way too short of a trip, but we're glad we were at least able to make it. For this series, we've decided to do a ranking the Christmas season in the city kind of video. Granted, take this as being very subjective. This is just our opinions given our experience. But we do have some experience with this because we did do another Christmas market dash back in 2021. We have a full series if you want to check that out. And we went to over a dozen Christmas markets during that time. So we kind of are coming in with at least a little bit of knowledge of kind of how Christmas markets are in Europe. So we went to several markets in the city, and our favorite was the St. Stephen's Basilica, specifically because of that light show. There also just was the most, it felt like, concentration of vendors, and so that was our favorite.
The setting was also just really cool, being right next to the massive basilica.
Yeah, overall, we are ranking the food at the Christmas market specifically. And for food, we're giving it a rating of a 7 out of 10. So we decided on the 7 ranking because we had some incredible food, but then we also had some very mediocre, kind of lukewarm, reheated food at the Christmas market. So we felt like 7 seemed like a fitting score.
In addition to that, the food is also very expensive here, like way more than what I would have anticipated. So some of the food highlights would definitely be the cream and cheese langosh. That was amazing.
That was a 10 out of 10, that one.
Yeah. And the honey walnut cake that we had a couple of days ago. That was amazing.
Yeah.
The paprika cream soup that we had the first day at the first Christmas market, that was really good and very different than anything that we've tried. So definitely gets high points for being very unique.
Yeah, but just to give you a reference, that paprika cream soup that was essentially just broth was over $10. So you're definitely paying for this stuff. Ambiance, we're giving a score of 7. We upped this from yesterday.
Yeah, it actually says 6 on our little notes here, but we're giving it a 7, mostly because that last night when we went to the Basilica and saw that light show while they were playing Hungarian Rhapsody, that upped it a point because that was really cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. The only reason it's not scoring higher is that when we went to Germany, some of those Christmas markets are so elaborately decorated, like kind of over the top, that we are comparing it to Germany Christmas markets, which I do feel like is somewhat unfair because Germany is known for their Christmas markets.
But then the last thing that I want to note here is that the city itself is really cool. I want to say that this is probably one of the most beautiful European cities that I've been to, and I definitely want to come back.
So yeah, overall, this was a great trip. Like I said, I wish we had like maybe just a couple more days. I think that would have been better, especially while working full time on the road. But we still were able to see quite a bit, and hopefully we'll come back to Budapest someday, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Yeah. So that's it for this video. We are going to be heading to several more Christmas markets. So if you want to see more videos on that, stay tuned soon and be sure to give us a like and a follow, and we will see you in our next video.
Bye. Pre-gaming for our Christmas markets.
We need vegetables to soak up all the fat from the fried food.
You okay, honey?
Is this just an American thing? I've actually never done the ugly sweater thing before, but I thought it might be fun this year. So let us know in the comments. Do you do this in other countries or just the US?